you can't outthink the future. There's no perfect planning. You just got to do it, and you got to know that it's probably going to suck to start, and the next day is going to suck too, and the day after that's going to be pretty shitty, and the fourth day might be a little bit better, and the fifth day might suck shit, and like it's going to be really bad. But guess what? Life is long. What's the average life expectancy? Like 78, 79, 72, like 82 years, and it's going to get longer as technology and medicine and everywhere we're going. Like, start. If you suck for 3 months, who cares? You get better. Like, what's the downside of sucking? What's up? Welcome to the vlog. Today's episode did not go super well. I was supposed to wake up at 5 and I woke up at 7. It's not a good way to win, guys. There just wasn't a lot of content filmed, not a lot happened, and so I have this Q&A card to bail me out, which is what we're about to do. I snapped and I said, big ask, I want you to snap me video questions. 10 minutes, 12, 15 minutes ago. Let's do it.
How do I get started doing online training and building a business online in the fitness community? Thanks.
You put out massively helpful content very, very often, and you individually try and help as many people one-on-one as you can.
Hey Mike, if you're cutting weight, BCAAs and pre-workouts a good idea, or try and stay away from it and stay clean?
Yeah, I have no problem with BCAAs. They're not super necessary, meaning you don't need to take them unless it is prior to a fasted training session. Then there is research that shows that they're beneficial in preventing gluconeogenesis, muscle loss during your workouts, converting amino acids into energy and using those, and we don't want that to happen because we don't want to lose. Like, it's taken me a long time to even build that thing up, so to lose it, like if I'm going to train fasted, I'm going to take 10 grams of BCAAs before. But no, there's nothing special about BCAAs that make them better than a post-workout protein plus carb meal, that make them better than a post-workout shake. So before fasted training, that's it.
Let me ask you, Mike, how long is a piece of string?
It depends.
What's the most important lesson that you've learned from Gary Vaynerchuk?
I was thinking about this recently because it's different. It's different than I expected, like looking back on this. The most important lesson I learned from Gary Vaynerchuk is having wildly optimistic, positive people in your life is massively helpful to your mood, to your state, to your success, to how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem, to everything. And I haven't figured out if that is, I was mentally thinking about water-soluble versus fat-soluble vitamins, like vitamin C, or like you need to just keep taking it, you're pissing it out, versus a vitamin D or another fat-soluble vitamin where you develop stores of the vitamin. You still need to keep taking it, but like, is being around positive people something that you need an injection of every day or every couple days? Or can 2 years of immersion with that person lead to a dramatic change in your personality and in your outlook? And I want so badly to believe it's the latter, and I'm just gonna believe it's the latter, and then like when you believe something, it usually happens. But that's the most important thing, is the impact of optimistic, positive people around you on a regular basis who care about you.
It's a good workout if you're thinking about joining the military and you need to lose some weight.
Anything. Like, check out the post I just posted, where to start. I think that would be a good spot for you, Jenny. Being in a calorie deficit is going to help you lose weight. Keep adequate protein, a gram per pound of lean mass, or maybe like 0.6 grams per pound of body weight. And like, time. Just takes time. Any workout. Cameron Taylor. I gotta click this one because there was a Cameron Taylor who hooked up with my when I was 17 years old, the first girl I dated, and then immediately after we broke up, she went and dated this like stud basketball player named Cameron Taylor.
Can you guess the macros in this sandwich right here? Andy's.
That might be him. Guys, if you send me those, you gotta tell me what kind of food is in there. I don't know if it was ham, I don't know if it was bologna, I don't know if it was triple turkey, like mustard, or like double bologna and mayo. It's a completely different ball game. Cam, you gotta tell me what's in that sandwich, bro. Also, are you the Cameron Taylor that dated Jackie Haushin? I really hope it is. That would be outstanding.
How did you mentally get past the fear of putting content out on the internet, especially video content?
Huge. I get this question a ton. I don't want to be doing anything else with my life right now other than growing my brand and my business. And by I don't mean revenue when I say growing my business. I mean growing impact. I mean growing reach. I mean getting more You Changed My Life emails. I mean putting more content out. I'm not in the business of like squeezing margins right now. I'm not in the business of adding new, that's not true. I am adding some revenue streams, but I'm not in the business of like making crazy sales funnels and increasing conversions, because right now I'm throwing a big net out. I don't have a ton of reach. Like, we're still in the early stages here with content and the internet and the amount of information that's out there. I don't know. There's crazy stats about the total amount of information in the world, video and other, that's just increasing like this, and it's going to keep going like this. And we're early enough on that slope that you can have impact if you get started now. I knew I wanted that more than anything else for the reasons I mentioned earlier. And so, look, you gotta decide if you want to build a business, and especially in fitness when it's gonna be around you. For the most part, like John Berardi has Precision Nutrition. You don't have to build a business around you, but it's much, much easier for someone to connect with an individual than it is to connect with a brand. And the deeper that connection, like that can be a customer if you want that to be a customer. That can also be a friend. That can be just someone you help, but that can be a customer. So putting yourself out there is the way that is going to lead to the most business success or the most growth. You also got to think about what's holding you back, right? Like, you talk to your friends, you talk to your family in person. The whole I sound weird on camera, I look weird on camera, no, that's just you in life, and you'll get over that in like 17 hours of putting shit out there, right? You'll get over that very quickly. Do you have thick enough skin to take the negativity, to take the, the small amount of hate, whatever you want to call it, that comes along with putting yourself out there? Is the pain associated with that greater than or less than the pain of not chasing this thing you want to do? Seriously ask yourself that. For me, it's a no-brainer. Like, the pain of regret of sticking with the accounting gig and living out my life like I would have is so much, is just like so soul-crushingly life-wasting for me, because that was the intuition I had when I was 24, 25 years old, is so painful that it's not even close to the pain of whatever the insecurity or the pains of putting content on the internet are. So make that decision, like, which is going to hurt more, the regret of not doing it or doing it and like having some bee stings along the way.
That Red Bull had 27 grams of freaking carbs in it, but I mean, on the upside, late night chest night.
I don't know if that was a question. Get sugar-free Red Bull unless you want all of that sugar.
Like, what do you do when you're sick? Do you still work out? Do you still try and hit your macros? What is your daily routine when you have a cold?
If it's a cold, yes, I am going to work out. Listen to your body. If it's stomach stuff, I'll probably skip it. For people who get bad migraines, I know working out probably doesn't make sense unless you have a technique where you can get rid of it in a reasonable amount of time. Drink a ton of water. I don't worry about hitting my macros when I'm sick. I tell my clients not to worry about hitting their macros when they're sick. Listen to your body. Like, you might end up, oftentimes you actually end up under eating. Sleep, rest as much as you can. I have, for myself in the past, I don't recommend this, but I have timed my workout at the time in the morning when I know I'll have the most energy. I'll stack my caffeine right there and make that the most important thing of my day to battle through, which isn't smart. But the other thing you can do is when you're sick or when you're coming back from being sick, reduce volume, reduce intensity, increase rest time, reduce weight. Like, go in there, get a little sweat, do some things, but don't tax your central nervous system to the max. You don't have to follow your hour and a half very intense plan. You can cut it down so you get in there, get a little sweat, and get out. And then vitamin C, hit your micronutrients, get some fruits and veggies in. Again, it's the game. It's just the game.
Mike, what would be some of your biggest tips to people who think that they want to start vlogging but aren't sure where to start and definitely aren't comfortable vlogging in public yet?
Just do it. Just do it. It's like, literally, Nike, start right now. I care whether or not... What is that? Shinez, you just gotta do it. I'm serious. And like, I don't mean anyone, and I am filming this. I mean you specifically need to do it, and I want you to send me your first vlog. I'm dead serious. I want you to start tomorrow. I don't care how good it is. I don't care if 0 people watch it. I want to watch it. I want you to email it to me, michaelvacanti@gmail.com. Okay? Like, you just got to start. You can't outthink the future. There's no perfect planning. You just got to do it, and you got to know that it's probably going to suck to start, and the next day is going to suck too, and the day after that's going to be pretty shitty, and the 4th day might be a little bit better, and the 5th day might suck shit, and like, it's going to be really bad. But guess what? Life is long. What's the average life expectancy? Like 78, 79, 72, like 82 years? And it's going to get longer as technology and medicine and everywhere we're going. Like, start. If you suck for 3 months, who cares? You get better. Like, what's the downside of sucking? Your random kind of middle school friends who still follow you on social media and like you think are talking shit but might not even be talking shit, there's no downside. You gotta go. Yeah, like, Shinez is gonna vlog, and I'm very excited to see it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna abuse her on Snapchat. By abuse, I mean like, yo, where you at? Why aren't you vlogging? Snap me back.
Do you ever spend a day without counting macros? I mean, can you relax a little bit once?
Oh, relax a little bit. Rosanna. So she had to throw that little twist in at the end that, like, I was joking with my sister about that earlier. Yes, a lot of times I estimate my intake. Right now, I'm using fitness as a, like, and by the way, some days I don't even estimate. There have been many days in the last 6 months where I just, oh no, we're running low on battery. I think this will hold up. There have been many days in the last 6 months where I didn't track at all, like didn't pay any attention, but I also just, there's general rules that I follow in my head too. Meaning I'm never gonna eat a no protein meal. Like, even if I have a pint of ice cream, I'm gonna have a packet or 2 of tuna with it. I'm gonna have a shake with it. I'm gonna have some protein in that meal because I'm gonna take advantage of that, like, carb refill and that insulin spike, and I'm gonna get some protein in me. Like, I'm gonna take advantage of the gains. The whole, like, can't you relax a little? That's another question. That's a dopey mindset that I really don't like, that I've gotten a lot in the past. Like, be balanced. Why don't you just, like, hang out for the day? I don't want to do that. I had no interest in doing that. But yes, I would say up until about a month ago, I counted macros 70% of the time, estimated 20%, and didn't 10%.
So Mike, question for me for the vlog is, what is your plans for your future? You're training and everything. 5 years from now, where do you want to be?
I have no idea. I'm really bad at looking into the future. I was thinking about this earlier because this kid snapped me and he was like, like we were going back and forth a lot. He was asking a lot of questions. I was getting a little annoyed, and he's like, what are you going to do after fitness? What are you going to do in 10 years? And my initial reaction was like, F you, buddy, because I'm like, I feel like I'm doing everything I can right now. But reflecting back on it, it was a good question. Because really, you can you can do really, really impactful, meaningful work in a couple industries if you want over the course of your life. If you look at like Elon or Bezos, who I'm not comparing myself at all to, but mental health and like the brain and the chemistry of the brain is something that I'm interested in the future. Like when I walk down any street in New York City and I see a homeless person, they're not there because they're lazy, and they're not sitting there because they like made a couple bad choices. They're sitting there because their brain is different than my brain, because they're like the chemistry in here, there's something going on that's completely different with that person than with me, and I want to figure that out, and I want to help people. And like I use fitness as a tool to help people, and fitness helps people physically, like longevity, live longer, feel better, move around. I love it. It's amazing. It's like what I'm most passionate about, but like, I would be interested to see what kind of real impact I could have on mental illness.
What's up, man? It's Manny. I just saw that snap, so I will ask you a question, but just not right now. I mainly snapped you because I just finished watching the ambition versus apathy video, and man, I used to hang out with a lot of apathetic artist friends who were really apathetic.
I do watch when people send me like 59, 89, 129 second snaps. I watch.
Or grind.
I think community is important.
And like, so they made me feel guilty for actually working hard
Sucks.
and wanting to live a better life and to improve myself and like reach.
You gotta get out of there.
So I got past that a long time ago. But it's funny how people
often the lobster doesn't get out of the boiling pot.
Don't want to put other people down for actually trying, for actually grinding. Anyways, sorry for taking up so much of your time. Good shit. I love these daily vlogs, so I'm really happy you're doing this stuff. See you later, man.
Bro, I'm glad you got out of the lobster pot of boiling water and left the other lobsters behind.